Ah, the campfire.
Yeah, I love that camp. Hey, you're the one who turned me up. Oh, wow, really? Thank you. I did not notice that. Fuck, sorry.
Oh, I just noticed something. I don't think my audio is going through. I hope it has. La la la. Alright, yep, I think it's going through. Anyway, I'm currently just doing a random stream, just like discussions about human nature and like being the things you'll talk around a campfire kind of thing.
When I'm around a campfire, I don't really talk about anything except what I've just killed.
Like deer and stuff. After an awkward silence is had.
Deer? God no.
Anyway, the reason why I really wanted to stream and stuff like that, because I kept on seeing like articles and stuff about like I bet people have been I bet you guys have heard like a couple of times about like games being pulled off Steam because they sued Steam or yada yada yada. Like it's not actually not an uncommon occurrence, and it's kind of hilarious, and it's also quite pitiful as well. Because how it normally goes down is what normally would go down is they would try to they think that they were betrayed by someone else. They think that they're being betrayed or being being like swindled out of what their fair share is. Like they work for someone and they feel like, oh, I didn't get paid enough for this, even though they agreed to something, and then they want to do this huge kerbopple over something. Granted, this may not always be the case, but it also made me think about, well, humans are known to lie a lot. Like, a lot. And sometimes it's just kind of ridiculous. Ultimately, I just think that maybe we could possibly do something better. Like, it also brings me the reason why people are so like to separate themselves from other groups of people, for better or for worse. Like, in some reasons why the rich would separate themselves from everyone else, because they fear that the one smallest thing that happens they can get sued over, which happens a lot, especially in America. The home of the free and the brave, and suing anyone you can. It might just because I just watched a few videos that, like that one episode that's Homer finally goes down a trap door, and since Mr. Burns changes the trap door, he is now liable for damages for that individual, which is quite hilarious, though there's so many legal stumbles that Mr. Burns does all the time. I think my mic is actually cutting out, and that this might not be an ideal thing to do. Because while I have Discord, but if I select it inside the thing, it actually doesn't.
I hear you just fine. I'm just half asleep. Mm-hmm. It is 5:25 a.m. here in Australia.
It's a circle
I
of
haven't
life.
even had my bloody coffee yet.
Black energy. Oh, that sounded racist a little bit.
Makes it sound even worse when I tell you I don't like black coffee. I prefer flat whites.
And anyone takes offense to that joke, for shame. Because I honestly think that people, like the smallest joke that's meant to be funny, that is on purpose not to offend anyone, that's just meant to take a stick at themselves, they get so offended or enraged over it.
Just remember, it's okay to be offended. I get offended by boy bands. But you don't see me ringing out the bloody police all the time. Yes, hello. There's 4 of them. They're on the telly this time.
I saw that joke. I forgot the comedian, but I remember that one.
Well, it fucking works. And people just want to whinge and cry and have their voice be heard. And
That was completely counterproductive.
it's just stupid.
Exactly. Like this whole thing. Okay, let's just put this on the table, like a big lump on the table right now. Extreme feminism.
Feminazism, you mean?
Exactly. Now, I want to make this straight for those who do watch this stream later or watching it now. The bare definition of feminism, which I agree with, is the equal treating a female equally as a male, just probably equally, benefits and punishments equally. If they kill someone, the same things should apply equally. If a man did it, if they did it, and I agree with that. Everyone should be treated equally. I understand that some cases that can't be happening, i.e. disability or something like that, but that's a completely different thing. But bare bones, 1-to-1, to male to female, it's being treated equally. However, a feminazi or the extremists of that movement see men as an absolute plague when that is not the case. Where there are actually good people out there that they demean or think that they're so horrid because they don't follow their ideology. And that's why I think feminazi makes perfect sense. And it's actually poisoned the term feminist pretty much, which I find very despicable. Because
the problem about feminazism is they are actually sabotaging everything that they stand for. They say they want equality and all that shit. Well, by trying to force their beliefs onto other people like that, it's making people not very open to the idea.
more resistant.
If I have a woman coming up to me, talking to me about equal pay between men and women, I'm perfectly fine about that. I'm more open to hearing it. But if I hear a woman sitting there talking to me that they should get paid more because they're a woman, I'll tell them to fuck off.
Oh, it's like that one guy that was angry at me, and I didn't have a chance to really say anything because I was arguing the fact that actually women don't get paid equally that much. However, the only time this was not the case was like in the Old West when they actually got a lot of money in that time frame, and they had a good amount of control and everything. There was a boom in that time frame in the Old West, and a lot of it can be thanked to the women at bars and saloons and other places as well. That's ultimately what I'm thinking.
You know, I'm looking at that campfire right now, just thinking of the things I could burn in it.
That's not one of these times.
Yes, it is. Well, hereby, unfortunately, there are some things that people like to discuss, not screaming at their computers all the time. Unfortunately, there aren't too many people that have pissed me off so far that I'm in the mood to scream and throw shit around. Maybe if I get back into Ark or if I get back into EVE Online or something, then maybe I might start throwing shit around and screaming. It might satisfy you, but for now, it's going to have to deal with people actually having a civil conversation.
That's what I like. I like having civil conversations, actually talking about things.
Too bad more people don't do it often.
And out of nowhere, he comes and he lives again, Snorlax.
Yeah, sorry about that. I was
to get you up to speed. We're talking
Legalize weed.
We would get you up to speed. We're talking about feminazis and feminists, and how it's actually got more poison because of their wanting to force these, like, oh, I want to be able to have every the benefits of a man but not get any punishments, or they whine and complain about all the smallest things. I've seen this happen to someone. They open the door as a kind gesture. They open it for a dude, they open for anyone else. They're just being nice. They get chewed out by this woman who is on the bigger side of things, quite dense, and she chews him out for trying to be nice. Generally just being a gentleman. What's wrong with that? And I'm like,
That's happened to me on more occasion than one.
I hate it. I really do. There's like no reason for it. Anyway, I'm
really curious as to what's being said in the chat at the moment.
I don't know.
Crazy Hippo said that he likes turtles. Apparently you can rip the shell off for the succulent flesh. Then you can run around screaming about a banana.
banana.
Who's been handing out the drugs?
I think that might have been Snorlax.
Hey. Drugs are bad.
Okay. But yeah, it's just, why can't people just treat people with some respect?
Because
I bet
I hate to say it, but humans are ignorant creatures. We We go around doing stupid stuff, and all of a sudden we blame everybody else for it.
And in the words of Batman from Batman Beyond, blaming's not productive.
Sure it is.
Well, if you're in espionage, maybe yeah. It can become a handy tool. But it seems like everyone wants to be in espionage, causing grief to others. Purposely or imperpurposely. I just can't stand it when I do it accidentally. But I say something because I get a little too frustrated or heated, and I feel much worse after the fact because I actually maybe hurt someone over it.
It's a smokescreen. If somebody can cause enough issues to somebody else, start putting the blame onto somebody else and complaining about somebody else, nobody is going to pay attention to their own shortcomings.
Like U.S. politics. you gotta say, it is horrendous. It's almost like every time, you know the joke, hold my beer. It seems like one time Australia had...
America said hold the carton.
It's holding the cup of hold my beer. That's no joke.
No, it's holding the carton, a full bloody 32 pack. Don't just hold one beer, hold the whole bloody carton.
And no, it's holding the whole carton and it's going.
All right, mate. What the hell was that noise?
Sand Raiders, Star Wars.
I know, but
that's what it seems like. It seems like it's like a desolate desert and there's no life, and if there's any, it's just being annihilated. While you just have one group of nomadic people just celebrating over the smallest thing.
What are we talking about again?
Stuff. Feminism, espionage, U.S. politics. If it delves within human nature, talk about it.
All right. I got this.
If it delves within human nature, you should be very careful saying things like that because it is in human nature to kill each other.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I can't disagree with that. It's too much.
Violence just breeds violence, and nobody seems to get that.
Problem is, it's like when you have
Kill enough people and it doesn't.
Well, that's true. Well, if you kill enough people, sooner or later you don't need to kill anymore because everyone else is dead.
Last man standing, Earth Edition.
An alien species watches the planet. It becomes number one in the charts in the galactic network. Last one standing, Earth Edition.
Sounds about right.
Begging me for mercy, Hippo, is not exactly going to help you. I'm a merciless prick.
Bullshit. You accepted me, didn't you?
Yeah, but you're a friend. I don't know this person.
It was an interesting first 24 hours, you all meeting together. There was laughs, there was joy.
Well, considering me and Snorlax got along like that, Campfire is currently ablaze. Yeah.
Was it ablaze with passion?
Oh, it was fun.
Oh my.
Oh no. Another thing I get confused on is why humans in general just do stupid fucking shit. For instance, not legalizing pot. Yes, I'm getting there.
There you go.
Yeah.
That sounds more political, not stupid shit.
Yeah.
Well, think of it this way. Marijuana can be used for many different medicine, all kinds of shit. But yet, bringing that up, humans fear what we don't like or don't understand. It's just, it doesn't make sense.
It is not about the fact that it's a drug or anything like that, or that they don't understand it. Humans understand.
Sorry, Grubbers, go ahead.
You cut out there.
Yeah.
I think you might have internet connection. No, but as far as pot, the legalization of pot goes, it was actually, it all started because it was a race. It was a race thing. I think it was since they knew that a lot of black communities smoked it, they used it as a means to an end to criminalize it as much as possible, to criminalize a race, which is wrong. And,
yeah.
And also, there was a lot of like positive things for using it, because you can take the like the drugginess part out of it, that it makes you feel loopy, and it can actually do you good, or you can keep it in there just to have a good time. It's honestly, if anything in moderation, can be done good, except for poisons. And I don't think marijuana in any way, shape, or form is a poison. So I feel like it's very rare, I'm assuming. And I'm sorry to say assuming, but
15 pounds in 15 minutes is how much it takes to OD on pot. It's not possible. It's like legitimately not.
You'd be too like you'd be unconscious first before you even get close to that.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you're too chill, you just fall asleep.
Oh yeah.
Here at Optus, we like to give you fast and reliable disconnects first thing in the morning. We're here to piss you off.
Oh yeah.
That's
every morning.
But yeah, it's
Well,
like I was saying to Snorlax why it was, as far I was told and far as learned through do some like basic research, I learned that marijuana was banned. It was a racial thing to try to criminalize black or minority communities over whites.
The only reason why it's fully not in effect is, or fully legalized in America, and if you notice, everywhere else is illegal, right? You know who did that?
Big Pharma.
No, the Geneva fucking Convention.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they apparently decided to fucking set a boycott or whatever on drugs, and all of a sudden nobody wants to do it. America is actually the first one that's starting to legalize it. Literally. Not even in Amsterdam, where everybody thinks it's legal. It's not legal. They just don't enforce that law.
No, it is legal, but only to citizens.
Yeah. That part I didn't know. I just thought it was,
No,
tourists are not allowed to consume weed over there, but if you're a Dutch citizen, you're allowed to.
Yeah. Other countries do allow smoking, and they absolutely say no, it's not illegal. If it's not illegal, it's legal. That's the thing.
Yeah.
If it's not illegal, it is legal.
You do understand the reason why it's not legalized, even though all of the studies so far have shown that marijuana or cannabis in general can actually be used medicinally. It has healing effects. It has more uses than just getting stoned. Even hemp, I'm talking about here, is because it's human nature to have things that you're not allowed. I mean, you turn around and say to a kid, no, you can't have that lolly. They're going to do whatever the fuck they can to get it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Now, that also means people are now going to want to have it more so. If it's legalized, it's weed. Who cares? It's not cool anymore, and less people are going to use it. They want to keep people using it as much as possible, so that way they can find people for using it.
And to put them in prisons and yada yada yada. And it's already been proven that the war on drugs does not help. It only makes the situation worse.
Prisons overcrowded. It's just ridiculous.
Yeah. Why not stop building more prisons and start looking at it subjectively?
It's not even about putting people in prison. over here in Australia, if you're caught with a dime bag or anything like that, you just get fined. They don't even take you to court. They don't even arrest you. They just fine you.
Neat.
Grumpus, I'm moving in with you.
Yeah, but the fines are fucking bullshit.
Yeah. My biggest problem with Amsterdam, or not Amsterdam, I'm sorry, I'm high, is with, hold on, let me get my thoughts together.
This is the real problem with weed.
You are not helping.
Yes, this is the real problem with weed. Marijuana affects the memory.
You are not helping with this case, right?
Yeah.
You are pretty much just giving the government a reason to keep it banned.
Yeah, I know.
No. The negative side is you're so chill and you're so relaxed, you just can't think of anything.
Yeah. My problem with Australia, though, is their rules against pit bulls.
Oh, yeah.
Grumpus, you've told me several times how you hate it yourself. But certain animals are really misunderstood. And we all just go along with it. That brings up my point. Going with the flow. Following people, listening to all their fucking bullshit. And all of a sudden you're not thinking for yourself anymore.
Well,
Yeah.
even though laws have been passed here in Australia about pit bulls being banned, the breed pit bull is really hard to eradicate because it's mixed in with a number of different breeds, and a lot of pit bull owners actually register their dogs as a bull Arab because of the similarities between the two. They get away with it, and there's nothing that the Australian government can really do aside from spend even more money testing, so they just don't even care. The whole reason that law even passed in the first place was because of the idiots who were training their pit bulls to be guard dogs. It was one of those things, back in the 90s, everybody sees things like pit bulls and shit as a gangster's guard dog. Oh, look at my pity, he's going to rip you to shreds, he'll fuck you up, yada, yada, yada.
It looks mean.
Yeah.
I still kind of laugh about that kind of stuff.
That is really the only reason pit bulls were banned, was because of the shit that they did.
Yeah.
Nowadays, we don't really have that much in the way of problems with pit bulls. We actually have more problems with Rottweilers and German Shepherds than we do pit bulls.
Great Danes can be kind of vicious too, if you think about it.
Yeah.
But-
You want to know what the one fucking dog that I have more of a problem with than pit bulls?
Chihuahuas.
Yep, a bloody soccer bulldog.
Oh, man, they can be very vicious and they can be very mean.
They keep nipping at your bloody heels. Literally, they will nip at your ankles, and they hurt. I would honestly rather be bitten by a large dog than have little nips left and right.
Yeah, it's easier.
It stings.
Oh yeah. Little
It,
sharp ass teeth. It just sorry, Ethan. Go ahead.
I just feel like it comes down to this as well. It's like, do you want a big chomp out of your arm, or do you want a lot of small bites? And it's like, in a way, I kind of like the small bites more than the large chomp, because if that dog bites down hard, especially a big one, but you're talking about like a trained domestic dog that's actually meant to. Chihuahuas can become very aggressive and very hostile, and I can understand that. But it's like a bigger dog, they're normally trained very well. They can't just hide away very easily. They learn.
Who here knows what pit bulls were actually bred for?
I don't know.
Nanny dogs. They were meant to take care of the children. They were meant to stay there, watch the children, make sure nothing happened to them. And if anybody got close back in the day, the pit bulls would go after them because they consider them their pups.
Oh.
Yeah, they were meant to protect your children. Kind of fucked up how you look at it in certain countries. America's no better either, because we have those strict rules on pit bulls. I mean, you can own them, but there's so many fucking rules for them. You have to keep them in a cage most of the time.
It's fear. It's motivated just by fear, not by understanding and knowing the breed outright. This is why a lot of those who love pit bulls a lot are absolutely infuriated, just infurious over those. It's ridiculous because the breed can be very awesome to have, and they are not going to be deadly. They're going to just protect themselves, and I feel like that's right. Like there was I saw an article about this. I don't know where exactly, but I think it's in the United States. Some places, police can shoot to kill a dog if it's just barking, and I find that absolutely insane. Like if it's leaving leaving the officer alone, not approaching. I can understand. I understand if they're gonna get physical harm from the dog because it can't stop attacking, and the officer is not being threatening. I can understand that situation, and the dog should have been trained better. But I don't understand when the dog is behind doors and walls, and they're pursuing the animal to kill it. That's inhumane.
There's actually a case here in Australia where the police were trying to issue a warrant. All it was just a search warrant, right? They've gone to the house. The people weren't there. The police have then gone around the back trying to get into the house through the back, and the dogs were getting a little excited, so one of the coppers turned around and shot the dog.
Shit, man. I'd have to beat the fuck out of the cop. I'd be going to prison.
Well, you want to know what the even more fucked thing was?
What?
The owner was next door. Before he could even come out of the house, when he realised what was going on at the house, before he could even walk out of his neighbour's front door and go back across to his own house, they'd already shot the dog. And it was just one of those friendly dogs that come up to you, try to jump up for pats and shit like that, trying to lick you. Wasn't even aggressive, wasn't even trying to bite him. Hey, do any of you know any numbers for a mental asylum? I think we need to admit Crazy Hippo 123.
I'm gonna have to look at this. I'm afraid to look at the chat because the things you've mentioned so far.
What are we missing?
Something about someone named by Crazy Hippo being crazy, and maybe it's a good idea. I'm actually quite happy that there is someone there, but I'm actually laughing hard. But yeah, when you kill.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, why shoot a dog that's being friendly? Seriously.
Exactly.
Even if it was an aggressive dog, it's his bloody backyard. Are they not keeping the dog contained? I mean, if it got out the front and started running muck up and down the street, I can understand that, but it was in the same bloody backyard. So even if it was aggressive, it's still contained and doesn't need to be shot. Maybe the police need to use a little common sense and actually communicate with the person they're trying to fuck up. It's not being trained properly. It's always been a problem. The younger generation seem to think that because they have a badge, they have the authority to do whatever the hell they want. That's all it is. You used to see it years ago, 20, 30 years ago, even longer than that. If a copper got a badge, they thought they were hot shit unless they had some sort of responsibility about them.
You'd swear they were more stoned than I am.
Well, if you want a good idea on why the police force in general in multiple countries is piss poor, just have a look at our youth today. You have a look 20, 15 years ago, it started getting a little rough. It started getting a little stupid, but it wasn't that bad. It wasn't until our youth started changing to the ignorant idiots, looking at the Bieber followers. It's just the times are changing. More and more people are becoming stupid. More and more people don't care about responsibility. More and more people just think whatever the fuck they want and don't care what other people think. That is the reason why the police force is changing and becoming more aggressive and becoming more stupid and more bad shit's happening.
I'm a 90s boy, and granted, we got in trouble back then, but we never did half the stupid shit people have done today.
Yeah.
Ethan, what kind of magic did you just pull?
What magic?
Well, the campfire started to fizzle out. It started to fall apart and break up. Like, wood was actually burning properly. And all of a sudden, they're full planks again. Like, what the hell?
I'm a Dracul. I can do shit.
You're a wizard. You're a wizard, Ethan.
I'd rather be a mage.
Why?
Mages don't need wands. They use staves. Staves are awesome.
We all need ones.
Na 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 na.
Ethan, I will stab you.
Why?
So if you want to have a bit of entertainment, have a little bit of a laugh, go through all of the Harry Potter books and change the word wand to penis. It changes the entire context of the book. The whole damn thing.
Here's something I never got. If you're gonna make a movie out of a fucking book, why ruin it by not putting everything in? If you ain't got room for one movie, make another movie. Get the
because
storyline.
then you end up with movies that are ridiculously long. I mean, look how much they had to cut out of the Lord of the Rings movies.
Oh God, look!
They were
what
already
did to
3.5
Aragon.
hours long.
Look at what they did to Aragon, though. That was ridiculous.
I know. But remember, those movies were already 3.5 hours long. Now, can you imagine if they didn't cut anything out of the Lord of the Rings books? Those movies would be at least 8 hours long, if not more.
Part 1 and 2. Part 1 and 2 right there. That's all you have to do.
It's still an issue of money, dude. We can't...
Well, not necessarily. They were able to... They would have been able to do that. Peter Jackson had enough money to be able to finance that easily. It's more... A lot of the Lord of the Rings stuff isn't as, exciting or... Like, it's not something somebody would sit there and actually watch and get excitement out of it. There are diehard fans that love the story that would sit there through it, but the general population wouldn't.
And
that brings me back to today's age. Our kids, they have no patience. They wouldn't actually sit there and understand everything that they're being shown. All they want to see is swords being driven through orcs' chests and beheadings and a little bit of magic here and there and a couple of trees stomping on people. That's all they want to see.
I like some good explosions now and again. But it's
now
also...
and then is alright. But
here,
every fucking day?
Okay, here's my argument against you on that. Also, if it doesn't have all the answers in the movie, they have a reason to go get the book. Reading is good.
I understand that reading is good. I love to read. I read every fucking day. But
I however, will agree with you when a movie is bad. When it absolutely just derails so much information that it's like, where am I going? What?
I want the next Hobbit movie to pull away from Hobbit or from Bilbo in general or any of the Bagginses and just make one about Tom Bombadil.
That dude was awesome. He was a shit turned into a bear and shit. That was awesome. If you can't tell, I was kind of stoned when I read that book.
When are you not? When are you not?
I would be scared if you weren't.
You guys didn't hear what age I was, though. I was 15.
Yeah, see, that was the typical age of people starting to get stoned anyway.
I wasn't starting.
And it's 6 a.m. and I still haven't had a coffee.
What the hell's wrong with you? Get a goddamn cup of coffee.
People are sleeping in the house. People are walking around in the house. I don't want to be seen, and I don't want to wake other people up.
Have a coffee pot in your room.
I will be.
I got one in there. It's a Mr. Coffee shit. Oh man, those are awesome.
We're moving in downstairs, so I'm getting a new desk and all that installed. And just as I already said that, we're going to be getting a coffee pot to put next to the computer. So
Not a good idea.
when it's set up, I'll have that.
Not a good idea.
Wow.
I had it set up to my desk one day. This was an older computer, and one day the coffee pot decided, oh hey, I'm gonna shatter. Coffee and glass went into my computer.
Oh, this is a big desk, dude. This is a huge desk.
So is mine. It's an old teacher's desk.
Yeah, this is like 3 times the size of that. It's a corner desk
Okay.
that's supposed to be used in an office building. This thing is massive.
Okay, awesome. Then yeah, do it. Do it.
I already know where I'm going to be putting the coffee pot on that desk anyway. I just got to put it together.
You got to put the coffee pot together or put the desk
Desk.
together? Okay. I was about to say, dude, build me a coffee pot.
You know what? I feel like this is a good stopping point. So
Alright, Ethan.
I'll say thank you for watching. I have noticed that there were people disliking the video. I love you. Thank you. It means that you care enough to dislike.
Before you do anything, though, Hippo, I don't know what the hell's wrong with you, mate. I think you need help. If you need somebody to talk to, I could give you the number of some people. But you really need help. Because that shit was just creepy.
I didn't see that. What's up?
Maybe you shouldn't. No, just.
Okay, now I gotta go look at the comments.
However,
Now you have to look.
However, I have to agree with the turtle comment. I mean, turtles, they do make good eating turtle soup.
Anyway, thank you for watching.